Dear students, welcome back. Today, we are going to learn how to write memos. The original meaning of a memo is a reminder or a confirmation. Memo is a short form of memorandum originated from the Latin word memorare, which means to remember, and it is widely used in business communication within one organization. Memos are characterized by being direct, short, and easy to read. It is a great way to communicate decisions or policy changes to colleagues. In a memo, there's usually one specific topic. If you have to cover two subjects, you might consider writing two separate memos. The purpose of a memo could be to send a report or summary, notes, from a meeting, to give information about events or changes, to ask for information, for example, preferred holiday dates, to give instructions or remind people to take action, to make recommendations. Let's see an example first. The above-mentioned sample shows the components of a typical memo and its format. We're going to discuss them one by one. Let's start with the memo's heading. The word memo or memorandum should be written at the top of the page. This word could be larger. You can either put it in the center on the first line or align it to the left edge. Then write down the date. For example, the 9th of June, January the 19th, 2019. Next, you need to address the recipient. Although a memo is less formal than a business letter, you should address readers formally, using their full name. Sometimes their job title should be mentioned too. This example shows it will be sent to all marketing staff. If you include everyone in your organization, you might write to all employees. Sometimes there is someone who may be informed by a memo, but he or she is not the direct recipient of the memo. In this case, you need to add CC line after to line. CC means carbon copy, which indicates that this memo is going to be sent to other receivers. Next, the writer's name with job title goes on the third line. For example, in this case, Alan Stewart, Marketing Manager. Finally, on the subject line, you need to write a concise statement of the topic of your memo. It usually begins with subject, but it could also be RE, which means the memo is a response. Subjects should always be specific. For example, new product launch, use of information resources, financial data required for 2016 tender, executives roundtable meeting notice, approval of overseas trips, request for funds, AWP conference. Add a line below the heading, so this part will be separated from the body of the memo. Now, let's move on to memo's message. A memo should start with your reason for writing it. The main point should be covered in the first paragraph, and sometimes it is stated together with background information, such as a brief summary of a problem. For example, I am delighted to inform you that the Finance Committee has approved the new product plans. Because of the damage the fire caused to the lower level of this building, all employees with first-floor offices temporarily will use the computers in the training room to do their work. However, if you are giving bad news or you disagree with your supervisor, you need to make your memo's opening more persuasive. It means that the main idea might not be directly mentioned, but expressed in a somewhat indirect manner. The rest of the memo is to explain your reasoning or to offer evidence for your position. Let's read our example together and find out its language features. I am delighted to inform you that the Finance Committee has approved the new product plans. We need to get moving as soon as possible on the marketing campaign. Could you send me all the present market research data on the identified target? I recommend we set up focus groups for more up-to-date data. I would like to see a selection of proposed brand names by the end of this week. The creative team must have a proposal for print media and TV campaign by the end of this month. We need to finalize and make decisions at the next meeting early next month. Make this project an urgent priority. The team must meet the above deadlines, AS. Have you recognized the memo style? Styles could vary from organization to organization, depending on cultures of certain company. However, there are some basic rules. First, it is less formal than a business letter or email. You may have noticed that there are no salutations such as "Dear Sir or Madam." Besides, the memo ended with merely the initials of the writer instead of the closing signature. However, you still need to take a professional and formal tone because the audiences may include your boss. Second, the tone is relatively neutral. As you can see from the example, I recommend and we need to. Third, the memo is short and easy to read. In the business world, people are super busy, so the layout of memos should take this into consideration. Sometimes numbers and subtitles are used, especially when the memo is long. Please look at another example on the slide. It is long, but with the help of its subtitles, it is still easy to navigate. Fourth, the memo states everything clearly and it concludes with a request for action. Deadlines are listed such as the end of this week, the next meeting early next month. Meanwhile, all the required actions are followed by their subjects. For example, the name of the team. In this way, readers can be clear about what actions they should take. Here are some sentence patterns that you may find them useful. To give information you can use, I have the pleasure to announce that. You will be happy to hear. An investigation conducted by reveals that. I am delighted to inform you. Be able to announce. I would like to remind you that. To request information you can use, I would like to have. Could you provide me with? The purpose of this memorandum is to ask for. Following the decision of the Board of Directors on the 9th of November, starting January the 1st, all employees. To recommend options you can use, it is recommended that. It is in the best interests of. Having considered all the alternatives we suggest, to give instructions you can use, please read. We kindly request. Make sure that. Is permitted only when. Please call no later than. To suggest actions you can use. The creative team must have a proposal by the end of this month. I would like to see a proposal by the end of this week. Could you send me all the data? All employees must use the new system by July the 1st, 2019. The end of this message could be, should you have anything unclear about the above-mentioned issues, please contact me directly. Further suggestions will be appreciated. Please be punctual so that we have enough time to. Your kind support and cooperation is highly appreciated. Now, you must be very clear about how to write a memo. So let's try to write one. The task: write a memo to tell all employees the following. Number 1, your company decided to hold a Christmas party on Friday evening, the 23rd of December, 2005. Number 2, the party will be held in the ballroom of the downtown Marriott Hotel. Number 3, every employee can bring a guest with him or her. You may add information if necessary. Here is a sample. To all employees, from Desmond Booth, President, date, December the 10th, 2005. Subject, annual Christmas party. You and a guest are invited to the company's annual Christmas party to be held on Friday, December the 23rd, beginning at 5:30 p.m. In recognition of the company's success this past year, we are celebrating in style. The Christmas party will be held in the ballroom of the downtown Marriott Hotel. We have engaged a ballroom orchestra for the occasion, and plenty of free refreshments will be on hand. I hope everyone could be able to join the celebration. You have all contributed to our success, and you all deserve to celebrate. I look forward to seeing you there. With the popularity of emails, memos can be delivered via emails, but effective memo writing remains an essential skill in communication which follows the same professional and formatting standards as those printed on paper. Let's have a summary. Today, we learned how to write a memo. You need to begin the memo by listing on separate lines the recipient, the sender, the date, and the subject of the memo. State the purpose of the memo in the first line of the main part. Use headings or bulleted or numbered lists, and keep the memo short and concise. Before the end of this lesson, let's see some helpful hints. Think of your readers and their needs. Be specific when making your points. Make your subject line short and descriptive. Use bullet points or numbers to clarify points or lists. Cover only single subject. Memos should be short and concise. Try to keep them to one page. Thanks for watching. See you next time.